is Fonghorn, Jay Fonghorn. I'm a director of research out at the Institute for Researchology over in the outback to our left over there. Well, it's quite simple actually. You just for lion taming to be a worthwhile adventure and a project that you should put your time into, you've really got to devote more than just your bank account to the idea of it. You've got to promote the overall idea behind it. See, because it's not actually lion taming that's what's saving our society today. It's the lions, because the thing about lions is, their mane is, it has nothing to do with the state of Maine in the northern United States. Now, that fact right there alone, that will change the future of the world. Really, it's not something to be trifled with. It's not something to be thinking lightly about. So, thing about lions is, what's really important about it. I know, and this is mind blowing right here. So pay close attention, because you're gonna need to know this in your future. Whether you're in the ice cream industry or library industry, construction, farm management. It's all gonna come into play here. So just keep that in mind. The thing about lions is that they've got that massive mane, right? At least the male lions. The female lions, their mane is actually at the end of their tail, so that little tuft. It's called the femane. But never mind that. Just fun facts for the day. But the mane on the lion. The really interesting part about that is it actually has nothing to do with the state of Maine up in northern United States. Now, that fact alone is life-changing for, quite a few of these biology researchers. Right, so while we're on the subject of desert storms, now, the thing about Maine is it doesn't have any desert storms. It's up north, but a lion's mane, okay, that those things see all the desert storms. Like you're never going to have a lion that hasn't been in a desert storm. It's just a simple fact of life, really. Now, you are going to have female lions. Now, those female lions, they travel all over the place. They shop a lot as well. It's just the females. It's in every species, really. But I don't understand it all, because it's just one of the things in life I've always wondered, because they don't have bank accounts, so I'm not sure how they get the shopping done, actually, but, it's just a simple, probably just an exchange of I'm going to kill you if you don't give me this or whatever, but, it's highly debatable in the sciences. But the thing about it is the fact that the mane of a lion has nothing to do with, a piece of land. That right there, that's what I've been building all my research on, actually. Now, I don't normally tell people this, but since we're in an interview together, I'll give you an extra tidbit here. Never, ever buy a snow cone in Maine. Now, the reason why, might be like, what, you're crazy, mate? Well, no, I'm not crazy. In fact, I'm the farthest thing you're ever going to find from crazy. In fact, I've never been called crazy, actually, ever. I don't even know why you would say that, because, I'm definitely not. But, right, now the thing about Maine is if you eat a snow cone there, your spirits are going to fly sky high. Now, what else flies sky high is airplanes. You don't want to be associated with an airplane. I tell people this all the time in, when I'm travelling around doing speaking at events. It's just I don't know why so many people don't understand, but you cannot be associated with an airplane. You're not going to go well that way. You can't get a job anywhere, the airplanes don't get jobs. Airplanes they're not even sentient beings, so you're not going to, it's not going to do you any good, really. Now, the problem with that is airplanes are quite useful. Now, if people aren't useful, where do they go? Oh, that's what I've been telling people for years, man. If people aren't useful, they go straight to McDonald's. They go straight to McDonald's. go straight to McDonald's. I mean, it's just like... how on earth does no one know, like, what we've been trying to help them understand for years? I just don't get it. But the thing about it is, really, there's just one simple trick to becoming like frogs. And I always say this, randomly, because people are like, now, why are you talking about frogs? Well, frogs are green, man. Frogs are green. That's all you need to know. And they're sticky. But, that's really beside the point. If frogs weren't green, the earth would be a bowl of flames right now. I'm telling you that. Forget the sun. Forget that. The sun is a star. Frogs are frogs. Now, frogs are immensely more important than stars. Now, and the thing about it is, if you have a poisonous frogs have been killing tribesmen for centuries, It's like, I've always said, tribesmen, they don't wear clothes except for like a loincloth. Now, if you're going to go around with a spear like that, thrusting it at white people, you're going to have a problem. Because these frogs, they're going to get you, mate. Now, here's the thing, though, to wrap it all up. If I had to sum up, like, all the speeches I've ever given, all the events I've ever spoken at, all the people's lives that I've changed, all the bank accounts that I've filled for people, all the money that I've made for all these poor people out there, all the money that I've given to the poor, all the times that I've given my coat to a beggar in the street, if I had to sum up the reason why I've done all these amazing things and changed all these people's lives so many times. In fact, I got an email from one guy one time. He was like, "You've changed my life, mate." And I got an email from another guy. He's like, "You have changed my life." And I was touched by it, But if I had to sum up the reason why I do all that and how, the how behind it, because you got to know the how. If you don't know the how, you're not going to ever figure out the why. And if you don't know the why, you can't know the when. And if you don't know the when, then you're outside of time. And the wind is also a powerful thing. That's why these windmills make so much That's why these windmills make so much energy for all the states in the US. Now, I don't know why they haven't adopted this in other countries. But, I mean, maybe it's because they're too busy eating strudels. Who knows? That's what I will say. But if I had to sum it all up, in one base solid point, one bottom line, well, here's the thing, mate. Indians didn't wear feathers. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. They didn't wear feathers. Now, if you want to dispute that fact, you can do the research yourself, because I've done the research myself. And, if they did wear feathers, then why do we call them Indians? That's just my thing. Now, that single fact right there has changed the lives of so many people, because they always had this idea in their mind, They were thinking this thing that wasn't true. So you've got this idea in people's minds. It's not going to get them through life, It's just simply not true. And the thing I always say about that is, if you've got something in your mind that's not true, well, it's just like if your hair's standing up. If your hair's standing up on end, cut it off, mate, And it's like those guys that make the no trespassing signs, right? Well, those things are made out of plastic. And if that's made out of plastic, then you're taking from the Arabica trees over in, where is that? Japan. So, if you're taking from these Arabica trees, you're taking from the beauty of the land, and you're turning it into plastic. And I just don't see how anyone can get along doing that, And the other thing about plastic is, plastic melts. Now, plastic melts, right? So, it's dangerous. Melted plastic is so dangerous, because it turns these people into wolverines. Now, I've never seen this happen in my entire life, but I've heard it so many times that I completely believe it's true, And, even though it was the same guy that told me every time, I still believe, because there's so many times, nobody would make something up 100 times if it wasn't true, So, these plastics turning these people into werewolves. Now, you got to watch out for that. But really, the bottom line about that is, werewolves, they've got fur, and I don't. So, I don't really care, So, let me leave you with this, all right? Now, this is extremely important, so pay attention. To sum it all up, the universe is a big place, but those little chicken pot pies that you can get at Walmart, they're just so good, mate. If you put them in the oven 425 for 20 minutes, that is the key to life right there. 425, all right? Do not overcook that pie. It's not a chicken pot pie if it pops. It's a chicken pot pie if it doesn't pop. It's in the name, mate. So, I'll just leave you with that. Remember that for the rest of your life and you'll be set.